Hi everyone. I've restored headlights using a lot of different methods. But yesterday, a professional technician shared a unique approach with me that uses charcoal. It sounds unusual, right? Today, I want you to follow along as we test this method together on this headlight. I'll show you each step so you can see exactly how it works. If the technique holds up, it could be a simple and practical way to bring a dull headlight back to life. Stay with me to the end, because the result might surprise you. Let's start simple. Take a piece of charcoal and rub it directly onto the surface of the headlight. Move your hand in small circles and apply light pressure. At first, it doesn't look like much is happening, but when you wipe the surface with a tissue, you'll notice a faint yellow residue coming off. That tells you something important. The outer layer of the headlight is already breaking down and oxidizing. The charcoal is starting to remove a small portion of that layer, but it's not enough on its own. So instead of stopping here, we go one step deeper. Take a piece of charcoal and break it into smaller chunks. Then crush it further using a tool until it becomes a fine powder. Now this part matters more than it looks. The size of the particles directly affects how the surface is treated. If the particles are too large, they can create scratches. If they're fine, they act more like a polishing compound. To control that, pass the crushed charcoal through a fine mesh. What you get is a smoother, more consistent powder that's easier to work with. Where in the world are you watching this DIY build right now? Comment below. We combine that with something familiar. Take a small amount of automotive polishing compound and mix it with the charcoal powder. The charcoal adds a mild abrasive effect. It increases the cutting ability of the mixture just enough to remove oxidation more effectively. Stir it slowly until the texture becomes smooth and even. Each material has a role here. The polishing compound provides lubrication and helps reduce friction. It allows the surface to be worked without causing deep scratches. Now, apply the mixture onto the headlight. Use a soft brush or cloth and spread it evenly across the surface. Once the surface is fully covered, leave it for about 30 minutes. During this time, the mixture begins to interact with the outer layer of the plastic. The compound softens the oxidized surface slightly, while the fine charcoal particles stay in contact and continue to break it down gently. While waiting, there's something else you can do with the remaining charcoal. Take a few pieces and crush them roughly. You don't need a fine powder this time. Place them into a small container. Add some baking soda and mix them together. Then seal the container with tape and poke a few small holes on top. This creates a simple deodorizer. Charcoal has a porous structure that absorbs odors, while baking soda helps neutralize acidic compounds in the air. Together, they reduce unwanted smells effectively. You can place this inside a car or a small room, and it will gradually improve the air quality. Let's go back to the headlight. After about 30 minutes, rinse the surface lightly and prepare for sanding. Start with 1000 grit sandpaper. Spray water onto the surface to keep it wet. Then begin sanding in straight, controlled motions. Water plays an important role here. It reduces friction, prevents overheating, and helps carry away debris. Without water, the surface can overheat and create deeper scratches. At this stage, you'll notice the surface becoming more uniformly cloudy. That's expected. What you're doing here is removing the oxidized layer completely. even if it means temporarily making the surface look worse. After sanding, rinse and wipe it clean. Now apply the charcoal mixture again. Spread it evenly and follow up with 1,500 grit sandpaper. This step refines the surface. The deeper scratches from the previous stage are gradually smoothed out. Move your hand steadily, keep the pressure light, and maintain a consistent rhythm. If you press too hard, you can create uneven spots. If you move too fast, the surface won't be treated evenly. After finishing, rinse and check the result. You should start to see more clarity forming. Move to the final sanding stage with 2,000 grit sandpaper. Again, keep the surface wet and work slowly. This step focuses on fine polishing. So what actually made the difference here? It's not just the charcoal alone. It's the combination of controlled abrasion, progressive sanding, and proper finishing. The charcoal plays a supporting role. It enhances the polishing process and helps remove oxidation more effectively when used correctly. If the result doesn't look as clear as expected, there are a few things to check. Make sure each sanding stage is done thoroughly. Skipping steps or rushing through them can leave deeper scratches behind. Check the pressure. Too much force can damage the surface, while too little may not remove enough material. And always keep the surface wet during sanding. That single detail can make a noticeable difference in the final result. It removes the smallest imperfections and prepares the surface for the final finish. At this point, the headlight should already look significantly clearer. Now comes the finishing step. Spray a small amount of WD-40 onto the surface and wipe it gently with a clean cloth. This does two things. First, it adds a temporary protective layer that repels moisture. Second, it enhances the visual clarity by filling microscopic imperfections on the surface. Move the cloth evenly across the headlight and watch how the surface changes. The clarity improves, and the light reflection becomes sharper. It's clear, bright, and much closer to its original condition. If you found this method interesting, try it yourself and see how it works in your case. And if you have another way to improve the result, share it. There's always more to learn from different approaches. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.